Hey guys, this is Ryan with Glass Cabinet Hobbies, and I have an unboxing video that I want to do for you for the new game KeyForge. So we're going to take a look at basically, I guess what this is called is the display box, where there is 12 unique decks here, and we're going to basically open up each 12 of those, and we're going to take a look at the cards in each one of the sets, and just kind of like see what the chances are, what are the odds of getting, you know, like a 6 or 5 or maybe a 7 or, oh my goodness, an 8 rare or special deck compared to, like, say, a 2 or a 3, which is kind of like the average. Like, the average is 2 to 4, but you can definitely get up to 7, which I just recently got a 7 out of one of the boxes. Now I'm selling these on my store on eBay, Glass Cabinet Hobbies. You can check it out. We also have a local store in Satellite Beach, which we plan on starting to do tournaments for KeyForge. Obviously, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I am pretty invested in HeroClix, but this game is a new game that I'm really looking forward to getting into and testing it out. Did a pre-release. The game is a lot of fun. I don't necessarily think just by having a lot of rares or, like, you know, harder to get cards make it so that your deck is can win or can lose, because I think it does require players' ability to basically pilot a deck to really be really good. But I mean, what people are looking for are the 4 horsemen, which are pretty good. I mean, they really are good. I got to be careful to not show the barcode kind of deal, so I doubt anyone can really do anything in a video like this, but you never know. So this is the first box here, and we have one fuzzy Gurin. Okay. Logos, Shadows, Untamed. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 rares in this deck here, which is pretty good. I would be lying if I know all the cards and could tell you if all the good cards. I am just learning, is kind of like a lot of you guys. I do plan on making more content as I really go through the cards and figure out, like, what are the really good cards, so that when you look at something like this, you can instantly say, oh, that's a good deck. That's, you know what, you can tell. So this is the set here. We got Shadows, Untamed, and Logos. This set looked, we got 4 rares here. It's pretty solid here. I wish I knew more of these cards here, but I honestly just am not familiar enough. I've played probably like 5 or 6 games. It's a lot of fun. I definitely highly recommend it, but I really am familiar with just the cards that were in the decks that I played and the decks I played against. So we're coming out this side here. This is Sanctum, Diz, and Brobnar, I think. Yeah, pretty sure. Here we go. What do we have here? We have Pingle, Who Annoys, it's a rare. Eater of Dead, which is a rare. So this is kind of like the lower end here, where we have only 2 rares here. I'm looking here, just seeing anything that jumps out that I'm familiar with. I'll take a look at a deck that I have in a future video, but we're just really just trying to see what are your odds if you buy a box. Okay, so that one was definitely on the lower end. I will say though, the 2 decks that I originally had were 2 and 3 rares. So, and the one that I actually got 2 rares, I actually went 3 and 1 with. So it actually doesn't necessarily mean anything. Look off the top of my head here, it looks like we've got 3 rares in this one. We have Diz, Logos, and Untamed. Library Access is a pretty good card, but it's actually just a uncommon, or a common, yeah. You guys, I mean, you probably are a little bit, some of you are probably a little bit more versed. Oh, let's take a look at the cover. And if you're not familiar with this game, I will run down a little bit just for maybe some HeroClix players that have probably heard a bunch of stuff about this game. Every deck is unique. We've been hearing it from everyone, so I don't want to beat a dead horse with it. But every single deck that you have is going to be unique. There is 6 different, I think 6 or 7. I think it's 6. Anyways, different classes or factions, and every deck will have 3 of them, and then there'll be assorted. I don't know if there's an exact number of cards in each package that you'll get. It seems to be about the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 cards. So I think, I don't want to say this because I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like you get 12 cards of each of the 3 factions that you get. So basically what you end up getting is you get like one deck here, which no one will have the same deck with the same combination of cards. So like if this deck ends up being really good, no one else will have this deck. Someone could have a Logos, Sanctum, and Shadows deck, but the cards more than well, they will not be exactly the same. They could have similar, but they're not going to be the same. Actually, and look, there's a rare right behind that. One last job. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's another solid deck here with 4. There we go again. So a lot of people, what it seems like what they're doing is trying to look for the combination of houses that they like, and then trying to build basically trying to find a deck that they like with those houses. Seems to be the going thing right now. Brobnar, Logos, Sanctum, Angry, Asylum Patron. And everything is randomized. The name is randomized. The image on the front is randomized. We have 1, 2, only 2 in this deck. Not the best. But that, like I said, doesn't necessarily guarantee that that deck is going to be bad. So far, we haven't had anything crazy. I think, what, a 4 maybe is the best? But like I said, the blue ones look really cool. Sanctum, Mars, Shadows. Okay, let's see here. We have Cliff Ape is 1. Mantle of the Zealot is 2. Customs Office is 3, and Feijin is 4. So 4 again. That seems to be pretty common. 4 is not bad though. Like 4 is a solid number. Oh man. If any of these decks look interesting to you and you're interested in them, give me a shout out. Contact me on my eBay store and I will post it there. But yeah, this is okay. Let's see here. Looks like we have something here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 again. I guess what's really popular is, like I said, I think I said Horseman, but there's a lot of different combinations that you can get. Logos, Sanctum, and Untamed. Sanctum seems pretty popular. There's a lot of like really good stuff in there. Logos seems to be the class house that like helps like support stuff. Untamed has pretty good monsters. So like there's just a lot of different combinations that you can get here. It's It's hard. Like, this video's not as exciting as it could be because, like, I want to show you the cards, but I don't want to open these decks up until, like, I'm not opening all these. I want to, you know, like to sell these decks for someone that would be interested in them. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. So it's another 3-1 here. Diz, Mars, and Sanctum. So anytime you have like more than like 2, it's pretty interesting. Charlotte, we have 3 of those because it's good to be consistent when you have like stuff like that. So you can kind of like, if there's a combination or some sort of like sequence that you like to do, like you're trying to, like the deck is trying to do, having multiples of those cards are very nice. Considering like this is the deck that you're gonna play with. Like you can't take anything out of it and you can't add anything to it. It is exactly the way that this deck is always gonna be. So there's nothing that you can do to make the deck better other than learn like the most efficient way to play this deck. There are mulligans, so like that's probably some of the best strategy in the game is to like know what to look for when you are drawing your cards to start the game. If you go first, you get to draw 7 cards and play 1. If you go second, you draw 6, and then by going second, you can play as many as you want. But obviously, you have to only play the faction that you claim. Okay, let's see if we got anything great. This one does not. Okay, we got barehanded, pile of skulls. That's 2. Osmos 3. So 3 again. We got Brobnar, Logos, and Untamed. It doesn't seem like the craziest box here. We're getting definitely more of the lower average than, say, some really big, nasty decks with a lot of rares. Untamed, Mars, and Diz. Like, all the logos are going to you'll never see this. No one will ever have the same name. Let's see here. 1, 2, Pit Lord. Okay, there's some crazy stuff to do. Well, there's some, Pit Lord has some crazy interactions. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this box is definitely not hitting a home run. I have to analyze these decks a little bit more to say if they're, you know, I'm sure some of these decks are actually pretty solid. Mars, Untamed, Logos. Okay, we're looking here. 1, 2, 3. Looking for someone had Bad Penny. I had Bad Penny. It's a pretty cool character. Ancient Bear is pretty solid for a common. Ancient Bear, he does, when he attacks, he does 2 damage before he attacks, and then he also attacks for 4 damage. That's pretty good. Bad Penny is like a 1/1, and it is, when it dies, it goes back to your hand. So if you claim that faction, you can attack with it if it's already been on the board, and then it goes back to your hand, and then you can play it again exhausted. So it's a good little cycle card to do chip 1 damage, or you can reap with it. Untamed, Brobnar, and Mars. Let's see if we can get a massive hit here. This one's looking solid. This one looking solid here. Oh, okay. Save the best for last, I guess. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 6 rare deck. So, see, I told you, a lot of 3s and 4s, but this one came out. Invasion Portal. This deck out here looks pretty nasty. Gengar Chieftain, 3 of those. Dew Fairy, 3 of Dew. Oh, that's good. I didn't look at a lot of the other decks just looking at the rares, but now I'm looking at this one a little bit more because it has so many rares. This one has some potential here. Dew Fairies, when you reap, they give you a +1 to your Amber. So basically you'd get 2 every time they reap, and you have 3 of them. So those 3 cards right there are going to help you get Ember to basically help you win the game. Yeah, that's really good. This is a deck. I gotta look at these other rares here, but this deck looks like it could be nasty. All right, guys. Well, that pretty much concludes this video for the unboxing of this KeyForge display box. Hopefully you guys found these decks pretty interesting, and you can kind of see what to expect. Now, like I said, I pulled a 7 rare. This might be my second 6. I pulled like a couple 5s and a bunch of 4s. So you have a lot of potential here. Let me just run this down really quick. We have a 6. We have a 3. I'll try to stack these up for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 1, 2, 3. I got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh, 2. That does happen. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Is that really only 2? Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. You can kind of get an idea if you were to buy a box and see what kind of your odds are. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Is that all of them? 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it looks like we got 2 2s, 5 3s, 4 4s, and 1 6. So, I don't know. I mean, like the 4s and the 6 are, like this 6 is awesome. The 4s are solid. And then over here, we kind of have like the standard stuff. And I said, I have a deck that's a 3 open. I played them. I had a deck that a 2 and a 3. And the one with 3, actually didn't, like the one that had 2 actually did better than the 3. But I was like my first couple of games. I was a little bit newer. So that's that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit long. Hopefully this is somewhat entertaining, give you some information, some I don't know, you know, something interesting. Maybe someone's not going to do a video like this. And, well, hopefully you guys got something out of this video. If you want to see more KeyForge content, let me know. I do plan on doing more of this. Usually games that I like to play, I typically try to do more. Like I could work on doing like a list of top cards to look for. I think I was looking at that. It's something that I would be interested in myself. So I really need to go and just go through all of the lists of cards and kind of categorize them as what I would look for. So anyways, there's a lot to do with this game right now. And hopefully, if you like it, you find a venue nearby that plays it. It's fun. It's actually a lot of fun. You only need one deck. You don't need to go out and buy a whole box. You could buy a deck from somebody that like the 3 factions that you're looking for, and be good. You know, you don't have to go and buy a whole ton of this stuff. If you want to have a bunch of decks, then I do recommend buying a display box to give yourself options here. I would say you're probably better off, if you're really not sure if you want to play a deck, probably not opening the deck and just looking around to see if someone would trade you. But I'm sure someone would still like trade you or buy a deck off you that has been opened. But there are some benefits for it to be sealed, because then the deck is really unknown. But if you want to prove a deck is really good, you can open it and play it and prove yourself right or prove yourself wrong. So who knows? And there's just so many deck opportunities. Like, you could just not, it'd just be so much work to play with every single deck you played against. You really just wouldn't know what is the best. So but that definitely would help being a better player at the game, to play with as many decks. But the game's still new. We don't know everything about it. There is an app feature with it where you can register your decks. There is some speculation that there might be a mobile, or maybe not a mobile, but a virtual way to play this game. So if that's the case, that's going to be huge. That will be very huge. I'm not confirming that because I don't know, but I've heard those rumors. That would be awesome if they did. All right, guys, take it easy. Subscribe if you want some more of this content, guys. Let me know.